Hello, brothers and sisters. I had a couple prophetic dreams last night that I want to share with you. Today is July 8th, 2022, or Tammuz 10/5782. I had a prophetic dream that there was this tall tree. It was way larger than a redwood, like this gigantic tree with treehouse apartments carved into it with many floors. It was hollowed out in the center with the staircase going all the way upwards, and inside were many levels of rooms which went all the way up. There were many floors and many apartments. I was floating outside, flying up the many stories. There were balconies from the outside, but it looked like there were gated bars, like it was a tree apartment prison. There was a young adult in each one of varying age. The lower levels had young adults hanging from the outside bark, screwed into the tree trunk with a large bolt through their heads. The large screw went through their heads and hung them on the tree. I felt so bad for them. I tried to take their dried and withered bodies down and properly bury them in the dirt around the tree, but God was showing me the prophetic significance of what I was seeing. As I flew up, there was a point in the levels where young adults were no longer hanging, but they were still alive. Whilst flying upward, it was like one by one the ones on the lower levels would be hung on the tree as the spirit of death traveled past them. This could have prophetic significance of people, God's children, having their minds corrupted so bad to the point where the spirit of death of this world takes them and pins them onto the tree by their minds. It could also mean there are many young ones being taken advantage of by this world and the people in it, to the point where they're finally killed after being exhausted of their use. This reminds me of the current world system, where the world's controllers, either known or unknown, love their own young ones, but think of everyone else as cattle which they can use and slaughter whenever they want. That's like having a pet cow, but then killing all the cows around you to eat them, because you only care about your own cow. But if someone came and killed their pet cow for food, they would try to kill you for killing a part of their family. They have become complete egotistical, narcissistic psychopaths who care nothing about their world community, but only their own families. Then I had another dream about the Tribulation. It seemed like the Rapture had already happened and everyone did what they wanted to do. There were no more laws and everyone only cared about what they wanted, not about anyone else. I was in what seemed like a Mexican town. I went to look at a local grocery store paper magazine. I saw in the paper some grocery items like Safeway. Then as I turned the pages, I saw what looked like to be plates of food and baked goods. What was interesting to me was that each item had a family member holding the plate of food or baked item, like it was a farmer's market where people made their own foods, and the menu had everyone's items in this magazine like a bake sale. I saw one photo. There was an older abuela grandmother holding a plate of chicken tamales, but the closer I looked at all these photos, every person was standing next to their family's young adults. As I flipped the pages, some of the young adults were dressed lasciviously in Halloween costumes or in drag runway costumes. I guess I was standing in this market. Then someone walked up to me holding a plate of baked goods. She was wearing what looked like a lascivious male-to-female tranny clothes in like a drag show, but she was clearly very young. She asked if I was ready to order. I said as my stomach dropped, "Exactly what am I ordering?" They said, "Whatever you want." In the Tribulation, it's like people had started to integrate this evil lasciviousness into their society, and it became a normal. It was absolutely repulsive, and I forced myself to wake up from this evil prophetic dream. It seemed like the mafia or giant swaths of the people had melted down into lawlessness and only thought about what they themselves wanted. Even the young ones were completely obsessed with themselves and were willing to sell their own souls for money to get what they wanted. The sad thing is, these kinds of things still happen today, even before the Great Tribulation that is to come, in an evil coordinated effort of secrecy which connects to drug trafficking routes through and from Mexico, both cartels and mafia. Sometimes these things are even intertwined into isolated parts of the current world system itself, the system which claims to save and take care of young adults, getting them ready to provide them into families for adoption. If you have any information yourself to these kinds of occurrences, please report it to the correct law enforcement, which hasn't already become corrupt itself. What saddened me was the amount of perverse spirits in the Tribulation, which made these things as common as a bake sale. Please, teach your family some street smarts and tell everyone about Jesus' soon return before the Tribulation, so no one, no matter what age, is not caught in prideful sin when that time comes. Alright, amen, God bless, stay safe, and take care, you guys.